Right. What's up, people? Welcome to You Need to Stretch. Uh, Today's going to be a lot about hips. And so we're going to start in butterfly and do some butterfly pails and rails. But first, we just want to find our deepest stretch for that butterfly position. I would recommend, if you had weights, you can put them on your inner thighs to help press down on those inner thighs. Alexa, set timer 2 minutes.
2 minutes, starting now.
I'm gonna keep trying to sit up straight, more tension in the hips. I'm pressing down with my elbows. And deep breathing here. We're gonna do pails, rails. Done a bunch of these. If you remember, pails is the press up. Rails is the open wider, both isometric contractions. Pails is the activation of the tissue in the inner thigh. Rails is the outer thigh. Breathe. Find the spots that need to be stretched, allow them to relax. This works out definitely much better with kettlebells on your knees. Feel a much bigger passive stretch. But your arms can do some work too. We got a few more seconds of this passive stretch, and then we'll go into our pails rails. Alexa, how much time left?
You have less than 10 seconds left on your 2-minute timer.
Alexa, cancel timer.
2-minute timer canceled.
Pails contraction starting off light. Begin. We're going for about 20 to 30 seconds here with the pails. Ramp up to your highest activation level. Hold it there. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and rails. Open wide. Squeeze those outer thighs. Think about pulling those outer hips to the floor, outer knees to the floor. About 20 more seconds here. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Put the arms back into a passive stretch. Alexa, set timer 2 minutes.
2 minutes, starting now.
Got another set of pails rails coming up after this 2-minute passive stretch. So I've been telling you guys I'm dealing with like outer hip, outer knee, and foot pain, and all kind of stems from my right hip not being able to externally rotate. So my right knee externally rotates too far because that can't internally rotate now. And now my foot gets all jazzed up from running. So in this position, I can totally tell I'm much more restricted in here, which makes sense because I have trouble externally rotating and this stuff needs to stretch. All right, and I can feel much more intense stretch on that right inner thigh than I can on the outer or on the left inner thigh. At the same time that I'm stretching here, I'm internally rotating that knee. All right, to help contract from the knee side and stretch from the hip side, all of this musculature. We're still in our passive stretch. We got one more round of pals rails coming up. Alexa, stop timer. Pals contraction. Ready? Activate lightly. Ramp up in the specific tissue that you want to hit. Somewhere in the inner thighs. Keep squeezing. Keep holding it there. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and rails. Open wide, focus. 20 seconds left here. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and rest. Stretch the last 30 seconds. Breathe. And then we're going to get up and we're going to go immediately into a side-to-side squat. Help work some of these tissues. All right. Let's come on out of there. Stand up. And we'll go into our side-to-side squat. Oh, wow. All right. Legs spread. Side-to-side squat is a Cossack squat, but you stay low the whole time. Here, feel that stretch. Push across to the other side. One. Two. Three. Four. And 5. Alexa, set timer. 2 minutes.
For how long?
2 minutes.
2 minutes. starting now.
All right, straddle pancake, standing straddle pike or standing pancake. Breathe, we're holding it here. Feel the stretch in the back of the legs. In the back. Kind of moving around to feel where I'm tight. Target those spots. After our 2 minutes is up, we're doing another round of side-to-side squats. Alexa, how much time left?
You have less than 10 seconds left on your 2-minute timer.
Alexa, stop timer. All right, back to side. Should be able to get a little bit deeper here. One. Two. Three. Four. And five. Good, we're going to hold this position. We're going to do what's called a vertical frog stretch. So, I'm going to use some blocks underneath me to help support. And I'm just holding right here. My goal here is to try to be balanced on the right foot. Feel all the stretch in here, so I'm pushing this knee down. All right, and only my right butt cheek is on the block. So blocks are supporting me. Some people might not need the block though. Think about pulling this leg that way, this leg open wide. 30 seconds down, we're doing a total of 90. In 30 seconds, we're going to go to the other side. And we'll try to do that through moving through a side-to-side squat. And bring your blocks with you. 15. 90 seconds on the clock. So I can certainly feel some restriction when I go to externally rotate this right hip. I'm going to try to breathe through it. Ease into it. Try to stretch that tissue as I externally rotate that hip, make some more room for it to rotate. That actually feels a little bit better. Right through this area. Good, let's come out of that vertical frog. You can stand up and shake it out. Oh, wow. That's a lot for those hips in rotation. All right. We're going to go into a piriformis stretch. All right. It's going to look like a pigeon, except I have some rules for it that I'd like you to follow to get the most out of it. So, one rule is you want your femur to be directly in front of your hip. So this lines up right in front of the hip. All right, it's not angled at all. And then you're going to want your knee or your shin to be perpendicular to your body. It shouldn't be bent, more like this. All right, so you want that there. This here. You'll see here is my piriformis or pigeon stretch. And I can't even rest my butt down to do that. So I'm going to elevate these blocks up even higher to help me. All right. We'll try that. See how that goes. All right. Alexa, set timer 60 seconds.
1 minute, starting now.
And I have the stretch I'm looking for. Try to stay square to that front hip. If you can flex enough to get that shin all the way to the ground, I invite you to. Try to keep your chest up as tall as you can. Try to keep that right leg as far back behind you as you can. There's the stretch. I'm trying to internally rotate my knee as to direct the tension onto the outer part of the hip. I'm also playing around with some PALS rails activations. That's a little bit advanced, but you can try activating portions of your hip. Think about moving it. Alexa, stop timer. Good. I'm going to come out of there and switch sides. Oh, that hip needed that. That felt good. All right. So, stacking my blocks. See if this side is the same in terms of mobility. About the same, definitely not as restricted in terms of sensation. And actually it can fall a little bit deeper. Alexa, set timer 1 minute.
1 minute, starting now.
So I've been dealing with this knee and hip thing for a few months now. I never stopped working out. I think that people have unreal expectations of how long it takes things to function normally again. Sure, I don't have pain on a regular basis, but I'm certainly still restricted because your nervous system remembers, and tissues just take more time than 4 weeks to kind of change and allow things to grow. And I'm working with people right now that are also dealing with injuries. So just try to extend your timeline. And also, once you're through the acute phases of the injury, there's still long-lasting effects that has had on your body, on that area. Good rest. That you may have to work through down the line. Alexa, cancel timer. And so, I'm back to doing all the cardio I want to do. And my knee and hip and foot generally feel okay. But I can tell I still have work that needs to be done. And I probably will forever have work that needs to be done because injuries create a limiting factor. And you'll always continue to work on it. So extend your timeline if you have an injury. It'll make the rehab process a lot easier for you. All right, we're going to go into a diamond frog. So we are going to spread the knees as wide as we can. At the same time, we're going to bring our feet together, and we're going to try to go down to the floor. You'll notice my feet are raised up in the air. I'm going to try to push them down. Alexa, set timer 2 minutes.
2 minutes, starting now.
All right, so I'm just hanging out here. My feet can act as a way to increase the stretch. If I try to lower them down to the ground, it will increase the stretch. All right, if I just breathe and relax here, allow gravity to pull them down, it will increase the stretch. If you feel discomfort in your back, play with your pelvic tilt a little bit. Breathe deeply. Oh man, I'm getting discomfort in my shoulder blade. All right. So much still hair down here. We're going to do Pales rails from here. Pales contraction is going to be to press the knees into the ground. Rails contraction is going to be to try to lift them off the ground. I found a point to stretch where my legs start shaking a little bit. Sign of weakness and lack of control. That is the point I'm going to hang out in. I'm just trying to relax and do it. I don't know if you can see, but my legs are going nuts right now. Alexa, stop timer. All right, Pales contraction. Start trying to close the legs, pressing down into the ground. Make sure you're doing it with that inner thigh tissue. Hold it there. Rails contraction will be to try to lift off the ground with an external rotation bias, meaning your feet come closer to the floor. And rails. Oh, rails is so hard. Mm. And rest. We're gonna hang out here 30 seconds and then we'll come out of this. Oh, my hips are very weak in this position. All right, come on now. Oh, oh, oh. Let's just go to a kneeling tuck and show our legs that we still have the ability to come back to neutral. And tell our hips that we're okay. After this, we're going to go into just normal frog position. All right, so I'm going to do frog with a little external rotation bias because I'm going to elevate my knee. Put that there and there. So frog stretch. Boom, boom. Heel on the ground. This is a little external rotation bias. And I found the spot that I want to stretch. Get comfortable. Alexa, set timer 2 minutes.
2 minutes, starting now.
All right, you can play with your pelvic tilt to help you find the position you want to stretch as well. I'm actually kind of exploring right now. This is the spot I want to be in. I found it hit that spot in my hips precisely. I'm going to breathe and hold it here. We're going to do a set of PALS rails from here. Actually quite taxing on the abs and the shoulders. Alexa, stop timer. PALS contraction, go. So to close with an internal rotation bias. Internal rotation of the hip would cause the feet to come off the ground. And rails is going to be open external rotation bias. Go. And rest. Oh man, stretch it out 30 seconds. Oh, hard to keep this posterior tilt. Abs are getting tired. All right. Oh, let's come out of that. Let's go back into our kneeling tuck for a second. Make sure the hips feel all right. Oh, man. If you don't feel like this coming out of a stretch, you're probably not stretching hard enough. If you really want to change things in your body, you really got to work for it. All right. Whew. Let's grab a quick sip of water. Man, a lot of thunder going on. But, it looks like it did rain. Oh, it looks like it is raining. All right. Whew. I'm going to go into a seated pancake. So kind of like we started off with our butterfly position, except we're going to be in a straddle. And we want to make sure we have room. Move over this way a little bit. Slide that up a little bit. And spread out. All right. From here, we're just going to work on some axial rotations. And I'm going to do it all right leg first. So I'm going to focus on just rotating that right hip. When I go inward, that is certainly restricted right up here in the hip. Open angle. When I go outward, nothing. Just going to breathe, hold it there, and squeeze. My leg gets a little shaky when I do that. Good, let's try the other side. Same thing happens on this side, I just don't feel that restriction as much. All right, we're going to try to externally rotate those hips as wide as we can. Right? We're going to do some seated good morning. So we're here, and we're going to glide our chest forward and back. Try not to round the spine. We got 10 of these. 2, 3. Oh, that cramped. 4. 5. Try to exhale on the way forward. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Good. We're We're gonna do some pancake bounces. So we're here. I just want a little pulsate. And pulsate all the way across. Try to pulsate from the hips. And then pulsate all the way back. That's one. Two. We got 5 of these. 3. 4. 5. Good. All right. Let's bring one in, and we're going to do some axial rotations from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Let's switch sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. We'll go back to our pancake. This time, and do some pancake sweeps. So both hands start over here. Reach one across. Follow. Other across. Follow. That's 1. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Good. Ooh. Right. Come out of there. We're going to finish off with some supine flares and some egg beaters. Hopefully I have enough room here to do these. So a supine, let's start off with some egg beaters. It's the easier variety. So egg beater. First, if we're trying to rotate our hips, oh my God, my legs are shaking like crazy. If I'm trying to rotate my hips, think of if I drew X's on my femur, I should see them move side to side. All right, so this is hip rotation. All right, and then if oh man, I did an incline walk for an hour right before this. My legs are going to be mad at me. So an egg beater, I'm just going to go around and around, around and around. Alexa, set timer 1 minute.
1 minute, starting now.
So I'm moving in one direction for 1 minute. It looks like one of those things that you bake with a KitchenAid or something. Oh man, it's been a long time and it's tired. All right, abs are tired, legs are tired. Oh, shoo. Those hips are getting tired. Oh man, sore too. Alexa, how much time left?
You have less than 10 seconds left on your 1 minute timer.
All right, Alexa, cancel timer. All right, now we can do egg beaters the other way, where they come in towards each other. We'll try that for a minute, or as many as you can get in a minute. So there's outward egg beaters, inward egg beaters. Oh, wow. Oh. 30 seconds left. Oh man, my hips are tired. 15. Oh, and rest. All right, the last thing we got, supine flare. So the supine flare is all about moving your limbs in the biggest circle that you can, really a half circle kind of. So it kind of looks like a high kick if you're standing. So let me show you. Try to do it to the best of my ability. My legs are definitely shot. I'm not sure how much room I have, but legs are going to move in opposite directions. Here and here. Try to get wide to there. That's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. Oh. All right. Oh. Good work today, people. Thanks for joining me. I hope your legs are shaky as mine. See you next week.